All right, so let's take a look at example number 2. Example number 2 says Jess has 18 baseball cards. She has 6 times as many baseball cards as Max. So right now, go ahead and think, who has more? If Jess has 18 baseball cards, it's saying Jess has 6 times as many baseball cards as Max. So Jess has more. How many baseball cards does Max have? So I know they give us this blank here, but I want us to just kind of write our own. If Jess has 18 baseball cards, and this is 6 times as many as Max, this is what our equation would look like. So we can very easily solve for how many Max has. So Max has 6 times what gives me 18. So Max has 3 cards. We had to divide because we knew how much Jess had, and she had the most. So that was my total. I had to see what number could I use 6 times that would give me 18. So we used our fact families to help us solve here. It does ask us to draw 6 equal groups just to show, let's see. So you could do, we have to have 18 squares. If I have 6 equal groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that just means that my squares aren't going to be great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So thank goodness for our multiplication facts, right? So we don't have to do that every time. So there are 3 squares in each group. So that means that Max has 3 baseball cards because Jess has 18, which is 6 times as much as Max. So let's go down here and look at this guided practice together. Sue has 3 times as many beads as Joe. So right now, let's think about who has more. If Sue has 3 times as many beads as Joe, that means Sue has more. Joe has 8 beads. So I could even come up here and say that Joe, sorry, my mouse isn't working good. Joe has 8. How many beads does Sue have? Write an equation to find the unknown number and use a variable for the unknown. Now we're going to be writing equations and using variables on all of these problems, on most of them anyways. So whenever possible, I do want you to write an equation and use a variable for the unknown. All right, so in order to solve for Sue's beads, Sue has 3 times as many beads as Joe. So Sue has 3 times as many as 8. And 3 times as many as 8 is 24. Now take a look over here. How can unknown numbers be represented in equations? So how do we represent unknown numbers in equations? We use variables. We use any lowercase number to represent what we don't know. Before I end this video, I am going to talk to you a little bit about homework, which you'll do it digitally, but homework is going to deal with the same, either multiplicative or additive comparison. So be careful, because if you see any of these, you're going to have to add or subtract, and we're going to talk more about that on some of the classwork. But if you see any of these, that means that they're multiplicative, so you could multiply or divide. Make sure that for every problem that you have to do on homework, that you write an equation with a variable. You even need to write an equation with a variable on number 5, and I'll give you a space where you can do that. So I'm going to end this video, and I will do another video running you through your classwork and talking a little bit more about those additive comparisons too.